This started several days ago. I live alone in a small suburb in Southern California. I just recently graduated college and have been happily enjoying summer. So on Tuesday night, I had been watching some comedies on the movie channel for a few hours in my room. I started drifting off to sleep at about 11:30, so I shut off the TV and closed my eyes. I slept like a baby, but for only a couple hours. I was woken up by loud popping. Cracking, maybe? I couldn't tell. I was still half asleep and laying in bed. I dismissed it as my neighbor, who tends to stay up into the wee hours of the morning working on his car. He works all day at his job, then comes home and works on his car for hours on end. He usually keeps quiet, but once in a while he gets a bit loud. Anyways, I was able to sleep for maybe 45 more minutes before I heard the popping again. This time it was louder. It was closer. I hopped out of bed, or at least tried to. My foot got caught in the blankets and I fell forward. My face collided with the wall. My foot came loose from the sheets and I brought my knees to my chest as I writhed in pain. My nose was definitely broken. Blood flowed like a faucet from my nostrils, and the front of my formerly white shirt was now filled with crimson splotches. I put my hand on the wall and managed to get to my knees. I slowly stood up and shuffled my feet to the kitchen. As I reached the kitchen, I noticed the popping again. My mind wasn't focused on that at the moment, though. I grabbed some towels and applied pressure to my nose. It was still dark inside the house, so I flipped on a light switch. There was a long blood trail leading from my room to the kitchen. I'll just clean it up later, I thought. I sat down and tried to stop the bleeding. I can see my front yard from the kitchen through a fairly large window. So I glanced out the window to see if I could see anything interesting to pass the time. I saw something at the house across from mine. Something on the front porch. Something huge, at least 7 feet tall. I tried to focus on it to see what it was. I got up from my seat and moved towards the window. What I saw next will forever be in my mind. As I focused on the dark object across the street, I saw its eyes. Oh God, those eyes. Perfectly circular crimson eyes. I could feel them looking, not at me though. Those eyes, those crimson eyes, I truly felt were looking into my very being, my soul. I was beyond terrified. My stomach was in a knot. It was at that point I realized what the popping was. The flapping of wings. It was coming from whatever was across the street. My eyes were fixated on it. The eyes continued looking at me. I was paralyzed in fear, and the creature began moving towards my house. The flapping got louder and louder. I couldn't move. No matter how hard I tried, my body wouldn't move. The creature reached the edge of my property. At this point, the details of its figure became obvious. It looked taller now, about 7-8 feet tall, as wide as a large refrigerator, with the blackest skin you could imagine. Its long, dirty face continued moving towards my house. I finally got my feet to move. I dropped the towel previously held to my nose and sprinted to my room. I looked back while running, and the freaking thing was in my house. In my freaking house. How the heck did it get in my house? As I got to my room, I slammed the door and bolted from my closet. I closed my closet door and tried to stay quiet. I didn't dare breathe. I peered through the slits in the door. The creature entered the room. Immediately, my bedroom was consumed in a hungry darkness. It wasn't just physical, but I could feel the darkness spiritually. The creature just stood in the center of my room, unmoving. Tears fell from my face. After what seemed like an eternity, the creature's head slowly rotated towards the closet. I began to pee myself. It started flapping its wings again, ever so slowly. A long, crooked, outstretched arm rose from its body and